Manny Diaz was fired by Miami. Mario Cristobal is in. Cristobal informed Oregon players on Monday morning that he was leaving, and Miami announced his hiring hours after it fired Manny Diaz, who was 21-15 in 3 seasons. Cristobal is a former Miami lineman who won 2 national championships as a player and later returned as an assistant coach in the 2000s. Miami's been eyeing Cristobal for weeks, but this seems like it was done poorly all around. Is college football kind of being ruined by how coaches are bouncing around, Key?
I wouldn't necessarily say the game is being ruined, not the game itself, but the practice of hiring in college football. It's a little bit ridiculous. Manny Diaz tried to put the Miami program back together, and if they wanted to fire him, they should have just fired him at the end of the season. If you wanted to court Cristobal, you should have did that, which you probably were already doing anyway. But why would you leave Manny Diaz out there in limbo, swirling in the wind? He has a family, his assistant coaches, all of those sort of things, or not knowing if he's actually going to be back for the 2022 season.
That's the why.
Why would you do that instead of just saying, hey, man, we like you, good riddance. It didn't work out. We're going to go get this dude. I understand that a lot of people would say, well, Manny Diaz took a job at Temple for a week. He signed on to Temple, and then when the Miami job became available, he went to Miami. Who in the hell wouldn't do that? Temple, Miami, Philly, Miami. Who wants to live in Philly when they can live in damn Miami? That's number one. Number two on that, though, Jay, is also when you look at it, it affects college kids, high school kids getting ready to go to college because of the early signing period. There's a lot of individuals that have already committed to these universities in August. When they get a new staff in December, so to speak, I'm going to call it December because most of this went down a week or so ago. Those new coaches come in, and they inform those commits that we don't want your services because we want something better. Now, I've already passed on, and my son and daughter or whomever else have already passed on other scholarship offers, and those other schools are filled up.
You're locked out.
They're locked. Now you're in trouble. There's about 400 seniors throughout this nation in college football that won't have scholarships, one due to the portal, but also another due to these coaching hirings in the month of December. 400 students, man.
Mm-hmm. The crazy part about it is just it's a whirlwind. So I'm pretty close to some of the Miami situation, living down there for a while before I moved back up north. And I got to tell you, there were a lot of cooks in the kitchen during this decision process. And you have a lot of new board of advisors. There's an infusion of healthcare money that's coming into Miami University. Like, Miami has always been like the place where they got star players, but it wasn't because of the money infused into the program. Like, now they actually have money behind the program. So there was a lot of stuff going on. And my thing for Manny Diaz, this is just the way the business works out. I mean, look, they were even hiring a new athletic director, a guy I know very well, and Dan Radakovich from Clemson, before they actually had the bid out to Cristobal before they even made the AD hire. So the whole thing was a mess. But I guess the question is, are we grading them for how they did it? Or are we grading them for the final result?
Or are we holding them to a double standard because coaches can do it to the universities, so can't the institutions do it to the coaches?
I don't mind them hiring him. The hiring him is not a problem. If they think he's a better football coach than Manny Diaz, that's not the problem. The problem is in which you went about doing, the way you went about doing it, Max.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're here with me, working with me. And if I'm working behind the scenes with the brash and the powers that be, and I'm trying to get you removed and just keep working here for a month, you're okay, don't worry about it, and then I'm going to get Fred Rogan. Like that, you don't do that. You just don't do it. Kids have signed on, families have signed on, and then all of a sudden, they don't know if they're coming or going.
But Key, that's every aspect of business, though. I mean, I've taken this whole loyalty and trustworthiness. I've taken that out of the equation as I think about collegiate sports because
see,
people get backdoored every single day.
But Jay,
people are always trying to cut other people.
It's not backdoored. It's public knowledge that we are courting Jason Williams.
Yes.
And also, Keyshawn Johnson is sitting here, but we're courting Jason, and we're saying to Jason, if you come on board, we're going to fire him. You're saying to Manny Diaz or Keyshawn, keep doing your job recruiting. Don't worry about it. But it's public out there for the world to see that we have you swirling in the wind.
Oh, I'm not saying
that
it's not a bad look.
Right.
I'm not saying it's not a bad look, but this is how business has been going on for a while. This isn't the first example of it.
See, this is the first time I've ever seen a college football coach at this time of year take a job from another coach publicly when it's wide open like this. It's the first time I've ever seen it.
And it was a while where he was just sitting there twisting in the wind.
But flip it around. So Brian Kelly's on the road recruiting while he's about to accept another job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There was no coach available at LSU. There's no coach available. This guy is coaching and recruiting the University of Miami. By the way, Oregon at this time is a better football program than the University of Oregon, just so that you know. It's not like Cristobal left a program that was a stepping stone for him. When you talk about Kelly, Brian Kelly was taking a job, had no coach. Miami has a coach in place, contract coach in place, publicly for the last couple of weeks saying, hey, we like Cristobal. I think we're going to hire Cristobal. I think Cristobal's a guy. You just don't do that.
Yeah, the fact that it was, I think what people are reacting to is the way they did their business,
it's bad business.
Was like low class.
Yeah.
Right? It was. They didn't take the high road and do it the way you like your institution to behave.
People are going to be mad about it. They start winning again, people are going to forget about it.
That's the truth. We're talking about right now. That's what I'm saying.
I keep hearing all this uproar, and I hear anger. And as soon as the program is turned around, because the reality is, even if we expand the college football playoffs, you're going to have universities that have a lot of money that want to get the best coaches in the door in order to have their programs get to the college football playoff.
I don't think you're listening to what we are saying.
I'm listening to what you're saying.
The question is, does it affect the bottom line?
All I'm trying to tell you is if they win, nobody's going to care what people are saying today.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.